You already know that dental treatments can be crazy expensive, and root canals? It's almost unbelievable how something you need can cost that much. In my 16 years of clinical practice, I've seen people who just couldn't afford a root canal and ended up choosing to pull out the tooth instead. So today, I'm going to show you 4 ways to save money on a root canal, but in a safe, smart way, so you don't end up in an even worse situation later. Also, I'll walk you through the 5 main things that determine root canal cost, so you know what to look for when figuring out the best price quality deal. Now let's talk about how you can actually save money on a root canal. And I'm not talking about installments. Installments don't lower the cost, they just let you pay the full price in pieces. Real savings come from smart choices, before you even sit in the dentist's chair. So the first thing you should do is get multiple quotes. Prices can vary widely, even between dentists in the same street. Comparing a few options can easily save hundreds. And the type of specialist matters too, but we'll get into that a little later. The second thing, and this is my favorite, is dental schools. These are fully supervised, safe environments where students perform the treatment under professional guidance. The work is usually professional and reliable, and the price is much lower than a regular clinic. The only downside is that each session can take longer than a typical appointment, and more sessions may be required. Appointment availability can also be limited, so planning is key. And sometimes you can even submit the receipt to your insurance for partial reimbursement. Which takes us to number 3. Your insurance. Even partial coverage can make a real difference. Know exactly what's included and how much you can claim before you start looking. And last but not least, dental tourism. Some people go to Mexico, Europe, or even use their vacation to get high quality treatments at a low cost. But this takes research, planning, and caution. Make sure dentists are licensed, clinics reputable, and also plan for follow-ups. Done right, it can save money, but don't rush into it. And the beauty is, these money-saving strategies are even more effective if you combine them. Here's how you can do it. First, get multiple quotes, including a dental school if possible. Then, pick the best price quality option and see if insurance covers part of it. Stacking these strategies really can save you hundreds on a root canal. But while you're looking for a bargain, what are the important things to consider so you don't sacrifice quality? Let's break it down. The first thing to consider when trying to save money on a root canal is the person doing the treatment, like we talked about earlier. A root canal done by a general dentist or an endodontist can differ by 2 to 6 times the price. Why? Because an endodontist has microscope level training, manages complications, and treats cases most dentists won't even attempt. The difference in price usually reflects the level of training and complexity the clinician is prepared to take on. And while a general dentist can handle most cases, if you have a complex root canal, this is something you should consider. The second thing to take into account is the tooth itself. Different teeth have different number of canals and levels of difficulty. Front teeth usually have 1 canal, but molars, they are a whole different story. 3, 4, sometimes even more canals. They are harder to access, harder to numb, and full of surprises. So yes, if your tooth has more canals, your wallet will feel it too. Think of it like car repairs. Fixing a Ferrari engine costs way more than fixing an everyday car. Not because the mechanic is trying to trick you, but because the machinery is more complex. A molar is the Ferrari of the mouth. It looks like it belongs in the same mouth as a front tooth, but from a treatment perspective, they are completely different. And if that sounds expensive, wait till you hear the treatment plan. A root canal is never just a root canal, especially on back teeth. They usually need the root canal itself, plus a buildup, and a crown on top. Not because the dentist is greedy, it's just what the tooth needs to survive long term. We're almost done here, but next we have a big one, technology. This is a silent cost multiplier. High-end materials and equipment make treatment safer and more predictable, but they cost the clinic more. 2 dentists could treat the same tooth. One using $20 worth of instruments, the other $20,000. Of course, the final price won't be the same. And finally, does geography matters? Sure, but not as much as people imagine. Root canal prices aren't standardized, not even in the same city. You could walk into 2 clinics on the same street and get quotes that differ by 500% for the same exact treatment. Crazy, right? I've seen back teeth in tiny towns cost more than front teeth in capital cities. So geography isn't the main driver, complexity and skill are. We covered a lot today, but what does it all mean for you? Don't just chase the cheapest price. Look for the right level of care for your tooth. Compare your options and use the tools you have, quotes, dental schools, and insurance, to lower the cost without lowering the quality. When you understand what you're paying for, you're in control. That's how you protect both your tooth and your wallet. If you're still deciding between a root canal and an extraction, check out my next video. And if you found this useful, subscribe for more dental tips and let me know in the comments how much a root canal costs where you live. I'll see you soon for another fresh take on every bite. See ya!